Now, is it just me, or does the title of this film remind you of a Batman villain or Deep Purple? Now, Hush is a simple home invasion thriller. But similar to Intruders, it has a bit of a twist. In this particular film, the homeowner is deaf and mute. She's deaf, and a person is trying to get into her house and trying to kill her. That's quite an interesting premise that's going to leave you on the edge of your seat. Now, I wasn't originally going to see this movie. I looked at the poster, saw that it was coming out, and I thought, it looks your typical straight-to-DVD film that I'm not really going to like. However, a few things changed my mind. For one, it came straight to Netflix, so it became a very easy movie to see. Chris Stuckman actually really enjoyed the movie, and I was surprised and got me interested in the movie. And three, it's from the director-writer of Oculus, a film that I really admired. I'm also looking at his movies soon to be released, his other directed movies, which is Before I Wake, which looked like a really interesting movie. I've seen a trailer for it, I thought it looked good, but it really hasn't come out. It just keeps getting pushed back. It's also been announced that he's making Gerald's Game, which is an adaptation of Stephen King's novel. And this is in post-production, but he has directed Ouija 2. He wasn't responsible for the first Ouija, so maybe he can make Ouija good? I mean, he can only go up. Ouija was a terrible film. So I gave this movie a try, and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it. Now again, it's your simple home invasion thriller. The whole twist about her being deaf is really interesting. But other than that, it is your typical thriller where she's alone in the woods, very reclusive, and she's being attacked by a guy that wants to come in and kill her. Honestly, very simple stuff, but the way it's handled is still really thrilling and very on the edge of your seat. It's still done in a way that I really enjoyed, and anyone that likes these type of thrillers should really go give this a try. Also, if you're a fan of Oculus, this isn't as creative as Oculus is, but it's from the same director and it still has a very similar style or visual style to it. The acting in this movie is really great. Kate Siegel played a very convincing deaf woman, and she was a really convincing lead. I really cared about her. I really wanted her to make it through. She's apparently also going to be in Ouija 2, so maybe that'll give Ouija 2 an extra bonus. And the person who plays the killer was really convincing as well, and definitely wanted him to die. Now, this is a very short, very quick film. And because of that, I was worried there wasn't going to be a lot of character development. There wasn't going to be something where I care about the characters, because I was worried that they weren't going to give us enough time to build this character before the bad stuff starts happening. Now, I will say the bad stuff does start happening within 15 minutes of the movie or so. It is definitely quick to start with the bad stuff. But even though there is a very small point in time where we get to build the character and see her with her friend, see a little bit more about her, know what her job is at being a writer, but there was definitely still enough stuff there to make me really connect with the character. And I have to say, the introduction to the killer is absolutely amazing. It's kind of something stereotypical of what you'd expect, especially with the girl being deaf in this movie, but it's done in a way that's still so amazing that I can't help but love it. The ending was great as well, especially when she's reimagining things that might happen if she takes certain routes. It actually does parallel with her being a writer in this film. Because in this film, she's struggling with this ending for this book that she's currently writing. And so she has about 8 different endings, and she can't really decide which ending to go with. And so at the end of the movie, when she's trying to escape and trying to think of what she can do to survive this night, she thinks of all these different endings, and none of them seem to work in a way where she would survive. I think this movie has a really strong beginning and a really strong ending. The first third and the last third of the movie is spectacular and enough to make me really love this film. However, it's the middle section that isn't quite as engaging as the other two spots. The middle part does get a little repetitive as she keeps continually trying to escape, trying to get new ideas on how to make it out alive, and him foiling her plans every time. I will admit there are definitely intense moments within the middle, but I have to say, compared to the beginning and the ending, the middle is duller in comparison. I'm not saying the middle is dull at all, I'm just saying it's duller than the beginning and the end. But it's not dull enough to really break the movie for me. And so ultimately, I'm going to give Hush 4.5 stars. So have you seen Hush? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, go ahead and check it out on Netflix if you're interested in home invasion movies, thriller movies, or the director that's responsible for Oculus. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews of 2015 and 2016. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was just my opinion.